Everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is C. Radhika. In this session, we are going to discuss about Article 19, that is the right to freedom. Before starting the session, I want to talk about something that is creativity and authenticity. Recently, I had posted the article. I hope you all read it. Go and check that in the post section. That is a beautifully insight I will talk to about it, that is between the creativity and authenticity. Your creativity matters most, but your authenticity matters more than that. Even though idea is repeated by any other person or any other people or any other book, but still if it is going to be from your soul, it's going to be out of from your mind, your thoughts, your writing skills, that affects a lot, because that brings authenticity to that idea or your own imagination. That's why keep thinking, keep learning, and stay healthy. Now let's start with the article 19. Before starting the article 19, in this we need to understand this article 19 is related to the right to freedom in various aspects. Article 19 consists 5 clauses. Article 19 consists of 6 clauses, out of which Article 19 subclause 1 is consist of the all the rights. As you can see, just give me a second. Okay. Now, Article 19 consists of. My pen is not working. Okay, now it's working. Consists of Article 19 consists of clause 1 to clause 6, out of which the clause number 1 consists the rights. What are the rights has been enshrined in the Constitution of India for the purpose of all the citizens. Most important point, you need to take into consideration that these are the rights are only provided to the citizen, not all the persons. Rest of the clauses that is 19 subclause 2 to 6 are consisting of all the reasonable restrictions. सो आर्टिकल 19 क्लॉज 1 में आपको जितने भी राइट्स है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के अंदर जो एंश्राइन किए गए सभी सिटीजन्स को वो मेंशन है. 2 to 6 तक में दे आर मेंशनिंग द रीजनेबल रिस्ट्रिक्शन, बिकॉज एज पर द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नो राइट और नो फंडामेंटल राइट इज बीन गिवन or provided by the constitution to any person or a citizen in the respective cases without any reasonable restriction. It means that no right is an absolute right. There are certain terms and conditions or certain reasonable restrictions are being imposed for the purpose of exercising those rights. I hope now it is clear. One of the beautiful quote as per the given by the J.S. Mill, who was the propagator of the right to liberty. Basically, he wants liberty and the freedom are the most important crucial aspects for any democratic country or a democratic society. As India is a self-proclaimed democratic country, in this he said that no state become great by doffing its own people. कोई भी स्टेट महान नहीं बन सकता अगर वो अपने लोगों को ही छोटा महसूस करा रहा है. It means if the state is not giving any kind of right, facilities or amenities or any kind of opportunity to grow being as an individual or within a group as well, if these are rights or opportunities are not provided by the state, in that case the state is not growing, the state is moving towards something devastation. Now the most important, we need to understand these are the 3 most important rights or the 3 pillars of the fundamental right. First, article number 14, that is right to equality. Next, article number 19, which is we are going to discuss in today's class, that is right to freedom. As article 14 has already been discussed in my previous lecture, you can go and watch that. Now the third pillar most important is article number 21, that is right to life, which we are going to discuss in the next section, because in the next video I am going to make on the topic that is article number 20, and after that we will getting the video of the article number 21. Now let's start with article 19. Now I had given a brief overview that what article clauses have been basically or overly or a word eye view consist of. Now read it roughly, then we will going to discuss one by one each of the clauses and subclauses in that. Now here it is. I hope my screen is visible to all you guys. Focus on the words and what I am reading and on the screen as well. First, protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech, etc. What is clause number 1? All citizens, most important, you need to consider that this has only be given to the citizen. Article 19 जो है सिर्फ citizens के लिए ही है. All citizens shall have the right. क्या right है? To clause number A, freedom of speech and expression. Clause number B, to assemble peacefully and without arms, to form associations and union and cooperative societies. This cooperative society word has been added after the constitutional amendment, that is 97th Constitutional Amendment Act 2011. Clause number D, to move freely throughout the territory of India. The territory of India word has been described in the article number 1, which is the union, the part number 1 as well, the union and its territory of India. I hope you remember that class as well. Just go and flip your pages. Now clause number E, to reside and settle in any part of the territory of India. That is also. Clause number F has been omitted from the, that is the right to property, that has been omitted after the 44 Constitutional Amendment Act 1978. Clause number G is to practice any profession or to carry any occupation, trade or business. These are the rights have been enshrined in the Constitution, that is article number 19, clause number 1, in which subclauses are mentioned. Now we are going to discuss right now or go through with what is written in the particularly regarding their reasonable restrictions. उनके लिए क्या क्या restrictions है? First, the clause number 2 is stating the restriction regarding the right to freedom and speech. How it is you can know that? That is sub clause A of the clause 1. Clause 1, that is all citizens have been given certain rights. Sub clause A, what was given? The freedom of speech and expression. In that, what are the reasonable restrictions that shall affect the operation of any? Nothing in this clause of subclause A of clause 1 shall affect the operation of any existing law or prevent the state, किसी भी existing law को या state को prevent नहीं करेगा from making any law, कोई भी law ने, in so far as so such law impose reasonable restriction impose कर सकते हैं on the exercise the right conferred by the said clause. What is the right conferred? क्या right दिया गया? That is right to freedom and speech. Subclause, in the interest of sovereignty, integrity of India, the security of a state, the friendly relations with foreign states, public order, decency or morality, or in relation to the contempt of court or defamation or incitement to an offence. That is. Next, clause number 3, which is providing the reasonable restriction, is respect to the clause B, that is to form an association, to assemble peacefully and without arms for the purpose of assembly. That is, should not prevent or interest of sovereignty, integrity of India, public order, reasonable restriction on the exercise for the particular right. There are only three restrictions, that is sovereignty, integrity and public order. Now clause number 4 is talking about the right conferred in clause C, that is form association, union and cooperative societies. What are the restrictions are imposed? That is sovereignty, integrity, public order or morality. One more is been added from the clause number 3. से एक ऐड है इसके अंदर क्या? sovereignty, integrity, public. That is the last one is morality. Fifth, clause number 5, what is saying? Any of the nothing in this reasonable restriction related to clause number D and E, which is talking about the freely moving or reside and settle in the part of the territory of India. What are the reasonable restriction? That is subclause either in the interest of general public or protection of the interest of any scheduled tribe. Now, clause number 6, which is talking about the reasonable restriction for the purpose the right has been conferred in the case which is, that is, to practice any profession, occupation, trade or a business. That is, what are the reasonable restriction? That is in the interest of general public. In the interest of general public, reasonable restriction on the exercise of certain has been conferred by the said clause, and in particular nothing in the said subclause shall affect the operation of any existing law in so far as relate to or prevent the state from making any law relating to that if any professional or technical qualification necessary for practicing any profession or carrying any occupation, trade or a business. Or second clause, the carrying on by the state, by corporation owned or controlled by the state, any trade, business, industry or service, whether to the exclusion complete or partial of the citizen or otherwise. What is said? The first is said that कि किसी भी तरीके की प्रोफेशनल टेक्निकल क्वालिफिकेशन की रिक्वायरमेंट. द सेकंड वन इज टॉकिंग अबाउट द कैरिंग ऑन बाय द स्टेट. It is controlled or owned by the state in that case also. Now let's discuss in detail one by one each of the right and their reasonable restriction. I hope you get a broad understanding ki what is being actually has been written in the spirit of the Article 19. Now start with the discussion. I make a short sum up for the purpose that what are the right has been given and in which of the clause the respective reasonable restriction has been provided. For say in clause number 19(1) all the rights has been given. In the remaining clauses 2 to 6 the reasonable restrictions has been provided. For the clause number 1 the right is freedom of speech and expression. Reasonable restriction is given in 19 clause 2. For the purpose of peacefully assemble and without arms, and the reasonable restrictions are given in 19 clause number 3. Third right, which is freedom to form associations, groups and cooperative society, reasonable restriction is given in 19 clause number 4. D and E, that is move freely and reside and settle, which is reasonable restriction is both given in 19 subclause 5. F is omitted and G is to practice any trade, occupation, business, profession. In that case the reasonable restriction is provided in 19 subclause 6. I hope you understand what is this sheet or has been for the purpose of what purpose. Now start with the article 19. Clause number 1, the subclause A, which is given the rights. Most important, you need to be understood because in MCQs they are asking you the question that article 19 is provided to any person or the only to the citizen. I had given that or provided that bare constitution in which it is specifically mentioned that article 19 is only for the citizens, not any other person. Those who are the citizens of India, they are getting those rights. Okay, now let's discuss what is the freedom of speech and expression. Article, all the citizens have right, all the citizens shall have the right टू फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच एंड एक्सप्रेशन. सभी सिटीजन्स के पास क्या राइट है कि आप अपने आप को स्पीच फ्रीडम है, आप कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं एंड एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं अपने आप को. तो व्हाट आर द वेज यू कैन एक्सप्रेस एंड गिव योर स्पीच. द पर्पस ऑफ स्पीच एंड एक्सप्रेशन you can either by your writing, orally, by painting as well, or by your visual representation, or by carving anything on your stone as well, that are also be considered in this right, or by any other means. By any other means, it is a wider connotation here which covers all of the things. Your social media, your internet availability, accessibility are also being covered in this, because through this ways in coming in the nowadays, these are the essential part of way of expressing yourself, so they are also be taken considered in that. That is the beauty of Indian Constitution, that it covers not only those aspects or things which is being presented at the time of framing of this constitution, but it is way ahead of that time. It includes or provided such kind of interpretation or connotation as well, in that respect that it covers future aspects as well. That why Indian Constitution is always being called as the living document. Now, the right to freedom of speech and expression includes grant citizens the right to freely express their thoughts, their opinion, their ideas, which include to express themselves about whether in writing, orally, by visual representation, or any other means, which covered the social media, your accessibility to internet, or expressing via any other social media accounts. However, there are certain reasonable restrictions which has been provided in Article number 19, clause number 2. There are two categories of reasonable restriction is being provided in that article. That is, first on the grounds are on the basis of national interest. Second are on the grounds of the interest of society. On the basis of national interest, that is sovereignty and integrity of India. It should not be affect the sovereignty, अखंडता भारत की और जो उसकी सुप्रीमेसी है Indian Constitution, that should not be affected. Security of India should not be affected, and any kind of friendly relations with foreign states or public order, this should not be disturbed as well. So, on the basis of the grounds of national interest, these cover four things, that is sovereignty, integrity, security, and friendly relations with foreign states and public order. On the basis of the second ground is that interest of society. The interest of society should not be also affected. First, that is decency, morality, contempt of court, defamation, or any incitement of offense. Now here you need to understand what the term decency and morality. Nowadays the various PILs, or in if you are going through with the newspapers and articles, you can get through these things that most of the cases has been going in the respect of about the OTT platform using the slang language and some obscure and vague scenes. In that respect, they are affecting the decency and morality. In that respect, Article 19 is being violable or not. In that case, such kind of questions are affected, because it affect the decency and morality on one hand, and on one hand it affect our right 19 or decency and morality. They are such kind of wider connotations that cannot be easily be comprehensible ki what should be considered decent and what could be considered as moral. So this not only affect our freedom of right to speech and but it also can be lead to a certain kind of things which leads to an arbitrary reasonable restrictions. So these kind of cases are going in this. Contempt of court. Contempt of court means if you are not fulfilling the court orders or court restrictions, or you are saying something which is lead to the contempt of the court, in that respect they are also affecting, they will also leads to the violation of this, and your article 19 will be provoked and fundamental right can also be restrict किया जा सकता है आपका. Defamation and incitement of offense. Now I hope you understand what is basically written, and I hope you learn in this session as well ki what is article 19 clause number 1 and subclause A, right to freedom and express, and what are the reasonable restriction are being provided. There are two grounds of the reasonable restriction. First, on the basis of national interest. Second, on the basis of interest of society. Now do start reading with the cases which has been giving you a broader or in-depth understanding of this article. I hope my screen is visible to all you guys. As we has discussed that the first set of grounds in the sovereignty, integrity, security of the state and friendly relations with foreign state and public order, all are around national interest. Second grounds are the decency, morality, contempt of court, defamation and incitement of offense are all concerned with the interest of society. However, in the constitutional obligation of judiciary to that reasonable restriction should be imposed, should not be an arbitrary nature के नहीं होने चाहिए. There should be something which affecting in any of these grounds के basis पे किसी ना किसी चीज़ को affect कर रहे हो तो ही होने चाहिए. Okay, ensure that reasonable restriction by a law on the media are reasonable and related to the purpose specified in Article 19. If any kind of restrictions has been imposed or violating the Article 19, in that case it should be under the domain or under the criteria which has been specified in the Article 19 subclause 2, because reasonable restriction contemplated in the Indian Constitution brings the matter. क्योंकि reasonable जो restrictions mentioned हैं Article 19 subclause 2 में, in that you need to take into consideration that because they have not given any specific definition or giving example that what should be considered this and that, what should be considered sovereignty, integrity, what should be considered decency, morality, so the involvement of court is always being present there. There is always a judicial review whether any kind of restriction has been imposed in respect to freedom of speech and expression. The court will involve whether these restrictions are reasonable or not, or whether they are arbitrary in nature. So this is what is written in here, that because a reasonable restriction contemplated under Indian Constitution brings the matter in the domain of the court, as the question of reasonable is a question of primarily the court to decide. कोर्ट डिसाइड करती है कि क्या रीजनेबल है, क्या आर्बिट्री है. Because freedom of speech and expression is a crucial right for any of the democratic country or a democratic society, because through this way they can open to the public discourses and questioning to the government ki why this happened. These things can only be possible, or public education can also be promoted through this way. It has been held a basic and indivisible or inviolable right for any democratic country. As I already before starting this the fundamental rights chapter, that no right in the Constitution of India is an absolute right. There are rights which are certain subjectivity. Along with that, there are certain reasonable restrictions as well. The most important case is there Ramesh Thapar and State of Madras. In that case, it is observed that in this case, इस केस में ये था कि जो भी मीडिया स्पेसिफिकली एट दैट टाइम व्हेन द केस इज हैपनिंग, इट इज़ ऑल अबाउट द प्रिंट मीडिया, योर न्यूज़पेपर, योर मैगजीन्स, इन दैट रेस्पेक्ट था. तो उसके रेस्पेक्ट में है कि राइटिंग और प्रिंटिंग अ मीडिया और पब्लिशिंग एन आर्टिकल इन दोज मीडियाज एज वेल, दे आर पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ राइट टू फ्रीडम एंड स्पीच एज वेल, एंड दे आर most crucial for public education, because without them no democratic country can survive and provide a public education. That's why it is freedom of speech and of the press lays the foundation of all democratic organization, for so essential for the proper functioning of the popular government is possible. For that, without free political discussion no public education can be taken place. The freedom of press, freedom of speech and express includes freedom of press as well, is a part of the ambit of Article 19. It means the right to print and publish without any interference from the state or any other public authority. But this freedom cannot be absolute. It should be subject to well-known exceptions that has been mentioned in Article 19 clause number 2. This is been the decided case or the conclusion of the Ramesh Thapar and State of Madras. कि freedom of press भी is a part and parcel of the Article 19(1) clause number A, that is the right to freedom and speech and expression. Now going to discuss with second case, that is Prabhu Dutt and Union of India. That is, the Supreme Court had held that right to know news and information. What is right to know? न्यूज़ को जानना और उनकी इंफॉर्मेशन रिगार्डिंग द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, गवर्नमेंट कैसे काम करे, दैट इज़ योर राइट टू इंफॉर्मेशन, जिसके लिए आप RTI फाइल करते हो, RTI एक्ट 2002-2005, विच इज़ बीन पार्ट ऑफ द दिस राइट रिगार्डिंग द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ गवर्नमेंट इज इंक्लूडेड इन द फ्रीडम ऑफ प्रेस में ही है. न्यूज़ को जानना, इंफॉर्मेशन को जानना किसके रिगार्डिंग में, कि how the administration of government is working is included in the part of the freedom of press, but this right is also not absolute. Certain restriction as per the clause 19 to impose on the key that should be interest of the society and individual from which the press obtain information. They can obtain information from an individual when he voluntarily agrees to give information. There should not be any kind of force for getting any information for the purpose that I am exercising my right to freedom and expression, which is includes the right to press and right to know news and getting the information. You should not be exercised in such arbitrary manner. You should exercise when he voluntarily agrees to give you information, that because the right to freedom and speech includes your right to silence too. If you do not want to say anything or providing any information to the other person who is asking for it, that is also your fundamental right, which is covered in 19 clause number 1 and subclause A, that is right to freedom of speech and expression. I hope you get that. This is include right to silence and right to information. Okay, that's a tricky one. Now next case is Bennett Coleman and Company versus Union of India. In this case, the case is about that what is the it is at the time of 1972, or you can say that when the national emergency has been imposed in the self-proclaimed country, that is the democratic country ours India. And that at the time of national emergency, this case has been the widely circulated, this case has been widely discussed and the judgment has been given. In that case, the government of Indira Gandhi has posed certain restriction regarding their circulation of print media. At that time the print media is very common at the time. In that case, the print media के circulation पे the government has imposed restriction regarding the circulations, regarding the printing as well. It not only affect their economic viability of the entity who is in the print media business, it affects most important or crucial right, that is article 19, which is indivisible and inviolable right. So, in that case, the Supreme Court has given that the freedom of press embodies the right of the people, which is right to freedom of speech and expression. It includes both quantitative and qualitative right. कि क्वांटिटेटिव भी है, क्वालिटेटिव. क्वांटिटेटिव कि उनका सर्कुलेशन है, सर्कुलेशन करने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता. दैट इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ द फ्रीडम ऑफ बिकॉज विदाउट सर्कुलेशन ऑफ द प्रिंट मीडिया और सोशल मीडिया और एनी अदर वे, दे कैन नॉट बी एबल टू एजुकेट पीपल अबाउट वॉट इज द पब्लिक डिस्कोर्स. दे कैन नॉट बी एबल टू एक्सप्रेस देमसेल्फ बिकॉज इफ यू आर रिस्ट्रिक्टिंग देयर एक्सप्रेशन मीडियम or their expression of the market in which they are expressing, this affects the right to freedom of express. Freedom lies both in circulation and content. This, and I'm giving you one note in this respect. This is doctrine of colorable legislation. This is basically the term or a doctrine which is used by the Supreme Court in this case to giving the judgment. That is, what they cannot do directly, they cannot also do it indirectly. जो गवर्नमेंट डायरेक्टली नहीं कर सकती किसी काम को, वो इनडायरेक्टली भी नहीं कर सकते. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ योर parent does not allow you to eat chocolate in the night, so you cannot eat it by any other means as well. I hope you learn this from this. This is the doctrine of colorable legislation, that ki government should not put certain kind of restriction which affecting the freedom of right to speech if it is not covered in article 19 subclause 2 को किसी भी तरीके के रिस्ट्रिक्शन को अफेक्ट नहीं कर रहे हो. तभी अगर अफेक्ट कर रहे हैं तो गवर्नमेंट कर सकती है, लेकिन अगर किसी भी तरीके से अफेक्ट नहीं, इनका सर्कुलेशन, प्रिंट मीडिया का सर्कुलेशन होना या कंटेंट कैसा है, दिस शुड नॉट बीन अफेक्टेड any kind of restriction, that is your national interest or your, in the case of interest of the society, decency, morality, incitement offense, contempt of court, in that case sovereignty, integrity of the India, foreign relations and public order. In any case this does not affect. अगर ये किसी भी केस में इनका प्रिंट मीडिया अफेक्ट नहीं कर रहा है तो गवर्नमेंट इस तरीके की रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं लगाई जा सकती. Your the state cannot put such kind of restrictions on the fundamental right which is being enshrined in our Constitution of India. I hope all three cases has been understandable to all you. First, Ramesh Thapar case. Second, Prabhu Datta case. Third, Bennett column. I am giving you the brief about the case facts and what are the conclusion and what are the techniques or the methods or the interpretation methods has been used by the for the courts to give the judgment. It help you to understand articles better in a much better way and help you to retain over a period of time. I hope these three cases has been clear to all you guys. Now the second, this case is also Sakal Papers Limited versus Union of India 1961. This is also at the time of the Indira Gandhi government. In that case, they violate the right, because as we have discussed right now, that is Bennett column case of Union. In this case, circulation और उनकी circulation of that paper or print media not only affect the right to freedom but is also affecting the right to doing the business or a trade or any other occupation, which is the right being provided by Article 19 subclause clause number 1 subclause D, that is G clause in the profession that also affect that. In the Sakal papers too, these both clauses has been violated, or these two right, that is freedom of speech and expression, right to profession, doing trade, any business, this affect, because from both these cases the gist, or you can say that the nutshell, it is that right to freedom of speech and expression include freedom of press, freedom of getting information, freedom of propagation of ideas too, it is included, and the freedom of circulation as well. The most important line is here that liberty of circulation की liberty होना is an essential है for adhering the principles enshrined in the preamble. As we has gone through the preamble, flashback your memory, you can get that preamble. In the preamble we have heard that liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship has been enshrined in the preamble. So how could this freedom of expression should affect this? It should not be affected them, because that has been enshrined and protected by in the किसके थ्रू प्रोटेक्ट किया, आर्टिकल 19 के क्लॉज नंबर 1 में. सब क्लॉज ए में फ्रीडम टू speech and expression. Now the case is, in one of the cases also, Shreya Sehgal case. This is the most widely known case, Union of India. In that case, that is section 66A of the Information Technology Act 2000, which has been inserted किया गया था उसके अंदर में, in which there is a wide number of vague and arbitrary words has been mentioned regarding the providing restrictions. This amendment in the act not only affect the Information Technology Act, but on that basis, if anybody is saying something, they get arrested, and various cases against this amendment has been filed. So in this case, the Supreme Court, the Shreya Sehgal, who has filed the litigation PIL in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said this inserted or amendment in the Act of Information Technology, which is giving a chilling effect to the Article 19 clause number 1 subclause A, the freedom of speech and expression. What is chilling effect? Now understand that. For example, you are driving a car in the midnight and you cannot see the road ahead, because just you can see the road ahead only by using your car headlights. But there was a dark night. In that case, that animal, for example rabbit, has been there. जैसे आप उस रैबिट के पास कार लेके आ गए, आपको भी नहीं पता कि वो रैबिट है वहाँ, एंड द कार, in that point of time, mind of the people or any animal would not be able to understand in such a shocking situation ki what should I do, either I should go walk away from there or should stand there, you should freeze for a 2 or 3 seconds. In such a way, it is a chilling effect. This article, this insertment or the amendment in that act, not only the amendment but it affect the Article 19. People are threatening to saying anything or posting anything on the social media or printing or saying anything on, because they start fearing that somebody will come or the police will come and take in charge of our jail. That's why. So Supreme Court says this is a doctrine of chilling effect. In this, there should be a reasonable nexus between any imposing किसी भी तरीके की अगर restriction impose की जा रही है by the state, there should be a reasonable nexus होना चाहिए restrictions में और उसके objectives में कि for the purpose if there is a particular amendment or certain kind of restriction on freedom of express and provided, there should be an objective regarding it as well कि why it should be provided in that. So it should not affect your article or your right to freedom of speech and expression. That is the Shreya Sehgal case, Union of India. Now the recent case is about the Anuradha Basin case, Union of India 2020. This is the case I had just provided the introduction and the what are the judgment in that. So I am just giving a brief about it in this. Accessibility to internet. This is about the accessibility of internet, because this accessibility to internet providing or allowing you to use your right of freedom of speech and expression, because without internet you cannot post or using a social media account, so you cannot be post anything over there. So this is about it, because recently in this case, because there is a lot of network shutdowns has been taken place by over a period of time by the government. So somebody has filed the PIL in that case. They why the network accessibility affecting the network accessibility, it not only affect your right to freedom of speech and expression, but it also affect your right to doing business as well, because most of the businesses are dependent on internet as well too. If you are affecting this accessibility of internet, that affecting the business or freedom of express, so in that case the Supreme Court has given the judgment that you should not be randomly or arbitrarily put certain restriction. There should be a reasonable restriction, nexus between your objectivity and your restriction. Along with that, there should be a proportionality concept as well, in that the principle of person must to be adhered, that कि network अगर आप इंटरनेट सस्पेंड कर रहे हैं एक्सेसिबिलिटी, तो उसके बीच में कुछ ऑब्जेक्टिव होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, एंड इट ओनली बी एज पर द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन जो मैंशनड है इंडिया के, उसके अकॉर्डिंग होना चाहिए, एंड दिस शुड बी एज पर द कॉन्सोनेंस विद द आर्टिकल के अंदर जो रीजनेबल रिस्ट्रिक्शन प्रोवाइडेड है. एंड आफ्टर ऑल दैट इफ कोर्ट वॉन्ट्स टू इंटरवीन, कोर्ट कैन इंटरवीन. कोर्ट जुडिशियल रिव्यू कर सकते हैं. जुडिशियल रिव्यू इट मीन्स दैट कोर्ट उसको चेक कर सकती है कि वेदर दीज रिस्ट्रिक्शंस आर आर्बिट्री और नॉट, और रीजनेबल और नॉट. तो judicial review. So it is about that Anuradha Basin case, Union of India. Now in this freedom of express and speech, one more topic is been included, that is sedition law, which is widely in discussion over the period of time. Actually sedition law जो है वो ब्रिटिश इंडिया के टाइम पे आया था. ब्रिटिशर्स लेके आए थे. उनका मेन एजेंडा ये था कि कोई भी अगर इंडियन, बिकॉज जब ये लॉ आया था सेडिशन, एट द टाइम द नेशनल मूवमेंट इज़ वेरी वेरी मच एट वेरी पीक, कि इंडियन लोगों को समझ आ रहा था कि ब्रिटिशर्स क्या कर रहे हैं इंडिया के साथ में. दे आर जस्ट ड्रेनिंग देयर इंडियन वेल्थ एंड मेकिंग दैम बेगर्स. दैट्स वाई द ब्रिटिशर्स बिफोर anything wider or something extended, तो ब्रिटिशर हैज स्टार्ट पुटिंग सर्टेन रिस्ट्रिक्शंस ओवर देम. दे स्टार्ट सेइंग, तो उन्होंने सेडिशन लॉ इंट्रोड्यूस किया था. कोई भी अगर किसी भी तरीके का ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ में कुछ भी कहता है, दे विल बी पनिश्ड किया जाएगा, उसे पनिश किया जाएगा. तो दैट वाई द सेडिशन लॉ इज बीन केम फ्रॉम दैट पर्सपेक्टिव. But this sedition law is not still present in our recent law, Indian Penal Code, and our new laws which has been introduced as well. This has been sedition law has been included in that as well. So इसके ऊपर एक डिस्कशन चलता रहता है. अभी nothing has been final over this, but you need to be considered that sedition law के बारे में डिस्कशन अगर आए, तो that should be covered in which of the right, it will be covered in the Article 19. Okay. सो सेडिशन लॉ, अब जो सेडिशन लॉ है आफ्टर द ब्रिटिश टाइम एरा और देन आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस, इट इज़ ऑल अबाउट कि किसी भी तरीके का पब्लिक डिसऑर्डर क्रिएट नहीं होना चाहिए. आप यू आर अलाउड टू डूइंग एनी शाउटिंग स्लोगन्स, यू आर अलाउड टू पिकेटिंग, बट शुड नॉट बी इन सच अ मैनर दैट विल बी लीड टू अ पब्लिक डिसऑर्डर. लेके वो आप नहीं कर सकते, बिकॉज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इन द डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री or a democratic society is that dissent is the most important of the safety valve of the democratic country. बिकॉज अगर आप अपना डिसेंटिंग ओपिनियन प्रेजेंट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं तो इट इज़ नथिंग अबाउट जस्ट अ डिक्टेटरशिप और अनदर टायरनी ऑफ एनी particular government or a state. So it is very important. Dissent is the safety valve of the democracy. If you do not allow the dissent, then the pressure valve of democracy will burst it out, or it will lead to the havoc and lead to the mass rebellion against the government. It is all about the sedition law. Specifically, one of the case has been discussed is about Kedarnath versus the state of Bihar. Sedition law is not constitutionally invalid. It is not. It is constitutionally valid law है ये, constitutionally valid, but it should be under the reasonable restriction जो necessary है for the safety and integrity of the state. उसके अंडर में होना इनका जरूर. Sedition law कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली इनवैलिड नहीं है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली वैलिडिटी है उनकी अपनी, बट इट शुड बी हैविंग सम देयर रीजनेबल रिस्ट्रिक्शंस. ओके, नाउ द सेकंड I have completed Article 19, Clause number 1, Subclause A, that is right to freedom of speech. Now move to another right, that is right to assemble peacefully and without rights. That is, all citizens shall have the right to assemble peacefully and without arms. What are the reasonable restrictions in this? Now read it. First one, integrity, sovereignty and integrity of the society. Oh sorry, India society है, my bad. That is reasonable. Sovereignty and integrity of the society or India, sovereignty and integrity of India, security of the state. Sorry, I had the clause number 3, the reasonable restriction regarding the subclause B. It is in, this is sovereignty and integrity of India, public order. These are the two major reasonable restrictions in that you should peacefully assemble. आपको assemble हो सकते हैं but without arms होना है. There should be a reasonable restriction. दो ही reasonable restrictions, security and integrity of India and a public order. What's that is public order. Now let's see if there is any case कि आप peacefully assemble हो सकते हो, associations grow आ सकते हो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, but there should not be affect the sovereignty integrity. And the second one, public order affect नहीं होता. You should be write it over here regarding this. Okay, you should not use the arms and ammunition. जब भी आप assemble हो, किसी भी तरीके के arms and ammunition आप use नहीं कर सकते हैं. That is the most important thing in this. Second one, right to strike. It is not a fundamental right. It is a legal right because it is being provided under the Industrial Disputes Act के अंदर से आता है, से आपको राइट मिलता है कि आपको स्टैच्यूटरी राइट है वो, क्योंकि स्टैच्यूटरी लॉज के थ्रू मिला है. इट इज़ नॉट अ फंडामेंटल राइट. तो दिस पॉइंट यू नीड टू बी टेकन इनटू कंसिडरेशन. एंड द लास्ट one, it is that section 144 has been introduced. As you can see that the Ladakh issue, Ladakh is demanding the statehood. Ladakh statehood की डिमांड कर रहा था. In that case section 144 has been applied to maintain the public order को maintain करने के लिए. This is valid on certain reasons and along with the reasonable restriction that it should not affect the sovereignty, integrity and public order के केस में वो सही. सेक्शन 144 जब भी पीसफुली असेंबल करने से मना कर दिया जाता है इन दैट केस, या सेक्शन 144 इंट्रोड्यूस किया जाता है, तो इन दैट केस द आर्टिकल 19 is being evoked automatically on that. Now the third right, form association or unions or cooperative societies. You are allowed to make, in that reasonable restriction is that sovereignty, integrity of India, public order, and the most important one is the third one add किया गया वो है morality. What is that? Morality is been added. Now just I have back it to show you in that article. Now here it is, clause number C, sovereignty, integrity, public order and morality. Now start that. सिटीजन्स, सभी सिटीजन्स के पास ये सिटीजन्स, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट कि 19 में सिर्फ सिटीजन्स को ही दिया गया है. सिटीजन के पास राइट है कि दे कैन फॉर्म एसोसिएशन ऑन द बेस ऑफ द सोशल, कल्चरल, इकोनॉमिक और पॉलिटिकल एसोसिएशन बना सकते हैं, बट फॉर कलेक्टिवली कॉमन गोल या इंटरेस्ट होना चाहिए उनका. किसी भी तरीके से फोर्स्ड कोराइजन यूज नहीं होना चाहिए फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ मेकिंग एनी काइंड ऑफ एसोसिएशन, एंड इट शुड नॉट बी इलीगली और मिसक्रिएंट ग्रुप नहीं होना चाहिए दैट इज नॉट बीन or that has been prohibited or restricted by any other law. Now the third one right is right to move freely and right to reside within the territory of India. इसमें दो ही reasonable restriction, that is interest of the general public, कि आप कहीं पे जाके रह रहे हैं और you start doing something your over bossly behavior. In that case you should be taken into consider that the interest of general public should not be affected, and protection of the interest of the scheduled tribes. There are certain restrictions has been provided that you should not be allowed to move freely in certain areas, that is reasonable restrictions. These are fall under the category of reasonable restriction, that is you should not allowed to be go randomly in the defense areas, military areas, secreted areas, prohibited areas, scheduled tribe areas. And if there are certain rules and regulation has been made, in that case, for example, in the when you are going to the northeast state, there has a certain rules regarding the inner permit line, as well as Andaman and Nicobar Island, as well Lakshadweep as well. There are certain rules you need to be follow that. You cannot say that is affecting my article 19 clause number D and E, because I have a right to move freely and reside in there. In that case, as also before the article 371 has been abolished from our कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन रिगार्डिंग द जम्मू एंड कश्मीर. इन दैट केस में कि जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में वहाँ पे वही लोग रह सकते हैं जो कि वहाँ के उसी पर्टिकुलर एरिया के हैं, सिटीजन्स हैं जम्मू एंड कश्मीर के. तो जब आर्टिकल 371 हटा तो दैट हैज़ बीन ऑल्सो बीन रिमूव्ड. इन दैट केस I am just giving a introduction about it just for the purpose of just you read somewhere and go through it. It is that कि वहाँ पे परमानेंट. तो there was a one saying, it is that कि एक ही भारत में रह के दो भारत नहीं बनाए जा सकते. दैट इज़ द सेइंग, क्योंकि जम्मू एंड कश्मीर के रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन अलग होते थे बिल्कुल, एंड रेस्ट ऑफ द इंडिया के अलग होते थे. तो रेस्ट ऑफ इंडिया से आप जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में मूव फ्रीली रिसाइड नहीं कर सकते थे. नाउ यू कैन डू एनीथिंग, नो इशू विद दैट after abolition of article 371. Most important in this you need to be considered or keep it in mind, that is you are allowed to move freely in India, that is been covered in article 19, but आउटसाइड इंडिया, इंडिया के बाहर जाना है तो दैट इज बीन कवर्ड इन आर्टिकल 21. आर्टिकल 21 आपको वो राइट देता है कि आप इंडिया के बाहर जा सकते हो, लेकिन इंडिया के अंदर कहीं पे भी जाना है आपको तो आर्टिकल 19 आपको वो राइट देता है. बिकॉज आर्टिकल 21 इट इज़ अबाउट द राइट टू लाइफ. तो राइट टू लाइफ है, आप इंडिया के अंदर रहो, बाहर रहो, कहीं पे भी रहो, कोई इश्यू नहीं है. बट विद इन इंडिया के लिए आपके पास राइट कहाँ से आता है? राइट आर्टिकल 19 से. ओके, देयर इज अ मोस्ट प्रॉबेबली MCQ क्वेश्चन रिगार्डिंग दैट. नाउ सर्टेन थिंग्स दैट इज कि फास्टैग मैंडेटरी कर दिया है हर जगह. तो इन दैट केस में क्या वो आर्टिकल 19 के मूव फ्रीली और रिसाइड को अफेक्ट करता है? It is not affecting. There are reasonable restrictions that has been allowed. Second question जो रेज है कि लॉकडाउन जो था उसका जो प्रोक्लेमेशन किया गया था, क्या वो 19 को अफेक्ट कर रहा था किसी वजह? नो, इट इज़ अलाउड बिकॉज इट इज़ इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द जनरल पब्लिक ऑर्डर इन दैट केस. ओके, नाउ द लास्ट इट इज़ दैट आर्टिकल नंबर 19(1)G. इसका रीजनेबल रिस्ट्रिक्शन इज दैट 19 क्लॉज नंबर 6, दैट इज इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ जनरल पब्लिक. इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ जनरल पब्लिक में स्टेट किसी भी तरीके के रिस्ट्रिक्शंस लगा सकती है. कौन कौन सी रिस्ट्रिक्शन लगा सकती है? दैट इज सर्टेन रिस्ट्रिक्शन दैट कि किसी भी तरीके का टेक्निकल या प्रोफेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर प्रैक्टिसिंग एनी प्रोफेशन या ऑक्यूपेशन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, बीइंग एज अ CA यू नीड टू बी क्वालिफाइड बाय द ICI. बीइंग एज अ CWA यू नीड टू बी क्वालिफाइड बाय ICWA. CS, ICSI, बार काउंसिल लॉयर्स, फॉर लॉयर्स के लिए, डॉक्टर्स के लिए उनका डॉक्टर एसोसिएशन. इन दैट केस इफ देयर आर सर्टेन एग्जाम्स और क्वालिफिकेशन इज नीड टू बी cleared or examination need to be done with that or getting a degree, that is allowed. Second one, carrying on by the state. State कुछ बिजनेसेस अगर स्टेट अपने ओन कंट्रोल में रखना चाहती है या होली और ओन्ड रखना चाहती है या whether partially रखना चाहते, in that case that are also been allowed to the state doing such kind of things. This is not in anywhere or not violating any kind of your right to profession or doing any business or a trade. Okay, there is a one case in this regard, that is Vishaka and state of Rajasthan 1997. It is about the workplace sexual harassment in the women, for the women. It is about that, बिकॉज जब ये केस था उस टाइम पे, एट द टाइम द वर्क प्लेस सेक्शुअल हैरेसमेंट पॉस्को एक्ट नहीं था हमारे पास में, तो that is also known as Vishaka guidelines. Supreme Court has been given some guidelines regarding that workplace sexual harassment ki regarding mein, how to deal with and what kind of cases, because at that time when the lady has let me give you a brief about the case. That is, there is a lady who is working in a public sector company. In that company, she has been sexually harassed by his own employees or by the workers. In that case, she has been filed FIR, but the police has not taken any case, because the police has said there is any kind of law in the country of India to protect such kind of harassment. से प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए, कि वर्क प्लेस हैरेसमेंट से प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए किसी भी तरीके के हमारे पास रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन नहीं है, तो वी कैन नॉट टेक सच काइंड ऑफ FIR और राइट एनी कंप्लेंट रिगार्डिंग दैट. तो इन दैट केस द सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज बीन गिविंग द विशाखा गाइडलाइन, दैट इज ऑल वाइडली popularized as Vishaka guidelines, which has later converted into the POSCO Act for the workplace harassment laws. तो विशाखा गाइडलाइंस तब तक चलती थी, फिर आफ्टर दैट हैज़ बीन केस. तो इट इज़ अबाउट दैट ऑल्सो. तो such kind of things are also being included in this right. Okay, now I have given the worksheet for you too. It is that I have given the articles in which the rights has been mentioned. Now you are just to be mentioned their respective reasonable restriction, because in MCQ they are going to ask that whether particular restriction is been included in that or not. Just give it a scribble it over there. You can get easily understand ki what are the differences between the reasonable restriction. Hardly it will take your 1 or 2 minutes to scribble them. Now just let go through it once with the last article clause, that is reasonable restriction, the interest of the general public वाली थी, and technical qualification of carrying on की state किसी भी तरीके owned by a corporation or state any trade, business, industry or a service, whether to the exclusion complete or partially of citizen or otherwise. Okay guys, I hope you all enjoyed its session, and I hope you get the better understanding of Article 19, because I am just directly using the bare Constitution of India for explaining directly what is being written in the Constitution. This will not only help you to read or understand what is being actually written and how to read the Constitution as well. So subscribe the channel, hit the like button on the video as well, and circulate it with your friends and families as well. Thank you. Have a good day.